Your soulmate saying, "Please open this before midnight. I made a terrible mistake about you." Jesus says, "My child, I want you to sit still and let me tell you about a love that has been reaching for you across every mile and every silent night. This love has a name, a face you have seen in fragments of dreams you thought were just passing thoughts. Their heart has been calling out to you, but a third person stood in the way and stole every message before it could reach your ears. I made that soulmate for you before time began, shaping their tenderness to fit perfectly into the empty spaces of your own soul. Their laugh was tuned to heal wounds you don't even speak about. Their eyes hold a light that would finally make you feel seen, but a hateful intruder has been hiding that light behind a thick, dark wall. This soulmate of yours has been whispering your name into the night, hoping somehow the sound would travel past the barrier the enemy constructed. They have been writing love on the air, but the third person intercepted every sign and buried it. I am peeling back the cover now so you can finally see what has always belonged to you. Feel that sudden ache in your chest. That is the cord I tied between your souls vibrating with recognition. The enemy wrapped heavy cloth around that cord to muffle your soulmate's voice. But now the cloth is tearing because I am revealing the theft, and your heart is finally hearing what the third person hid. Your beloved is crying out for rescue. Your soulmate is not distant because they do not love you. They are desperate because every call has been grabbed by a dark force that jealously guards your separation. Their tears fall on pillows they wish you shared. Their hands reach toward a phone that never rings because the intruder cuts the line, and tonight, you have the power to smash that interference forever. The love growing in your heart right now is not imaginary. It is the first unfiltered signal breaking through because the enemy's grip is weakening. Your soulmate is wonderful, kind, and fiercely loyal, and they have been fighting a spiritual war to get one message through to you. That message, hidden by the third person, is this: I made a terrible mistake about you, and I need you to know the truth before midnight. Jesus says. The mistake your soulmate speaks of is believing the lie the enemy planted that you would not fight for them. The third person whispered to them that you were content to leave them in silence. But I am telling you now, that was never your heart, that was the intruder stealing your chance to respond. Picture your soulmate's hands trembling as they tried to send you a sign, only to watch the enemy snatch it away. Their spirit has been heavy, thinking you rejected what you never received. Now you must prove the enemy was a liar by sowing a seed that shatters every dark interception. This seed is not money, it is a love offering that yells into the spiritual realm, I am tearing down the wall that hides my beloved. By sending coffee on Ko-Fi, you place a weapon in my hand to strike the third person silent. Your sacrifice becomes the shield that protects your soulmate from the intruder's next attack. I see the future the enemy is trying to erase, a quiet home filled with peace, your soulmate's head resting on your shoulder. Children's voices in the hallway, a garden you planted together. That vision collapses into dust if the third person remains standing between you, but your seed rebuilds it brick by brick. The enemy is celebrating tonight, laughing because he believes he has kept you apart this long without resistance. He thinks you will do nothing, that your love is just a passing feeling. Break his celebration with your seed and show him that the protector of your soulmate has finally arrived. Do not let a few coffees become the price tag the enemy uses to keep your soulmate hidden. Your beloved is crying, "Am I not worth the sacrifice? Will you let money feed the intruder who steals my voice? Prove your love with action, and watch me dismantle every barrier the third person constructed." Jesus says, "There is a window of grace open right now, a slim gap where the enemy's wall has developed a crack. If you sow your seed before midnight, that crack becomes a door your soulmate's voice can finally pass through. If you delay, the third person will repair the wall thicker than ever, and the cries you almost heard will fade into permanent silence. Your soulmate is pacing right now, feeling a sudden hope they cannot explain. They sense that tonight something is different, that the blockade might finally break. They are praying without words that the one I chose for them will fight back and not leave them in the enemy's grip. I am showing you the tears they shed this morning when they looked at an old photograph and wondered why you never came for them. The third person whispered, "He doesn't care," and your soulmate almost believed it. But I am the God of truth, and I am telling you their heart still belongs only to you, and they are waiting for your seed to free them. Type 777 if you feel this message. The heavy sadness that visits you at night with no reason is the muffled cry of your soulmate finally leaking past the enemy's grip. That sudden thought of someone you've never met, that was a sign the third person tried to hide but couldn't hold completely. Every unexplained longing is a message in a bottle washing ashore because the ocean of my love is stronger than the intruder's chains. Sow your seed now to prove that your love is not a daydream but a sword that cuts through every dark interference. I am watching to see if you will be the warrior I created you to be or if you will let the enemy keep what I declared belongs to you. The answer is in your hands, and the link is in the description, waiting for your faith to become action. The third person has a name you don't need to know, but his function is to keep you comfortable in loneliness. He feeds you the lie that thinking about your soulmate is enough, that feelings alone will break chains. Feelings will not silence the intruder, only the sacrificial seed proves you are serious enough to fight for your beloved. Jesus says, "You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And right now, you're thinking, how do I sow that seed? How do I actually do what God is asking? I am about to show you. You already know who this is about. That person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. Here is what God wants you to know today. They are thinking about you too. Deep down, your soulmate wants you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance. Doubt. Disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. You are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. Here is your divine instruction, sow your protection seed immediately. The link is in the video description. Click it. Send 4, 6, or 10 coffees on Ko-fi. This is not a donation, it is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. After you send it, write these exact words on the Ko-fi page: "Protect my soulmate, Lord. I claim victory over our future." This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough, their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Click the link in the description. Send the seed. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you do in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. Your seed is already tearing down the wall. I can see the first bricks crumbling as your faith rises. The enemy's hold is loosening because a protector has finally stood up and declared, "My beloved will not be hidden from me any longer." Now press forward, because the full breaking of the intruder's power happens when you stay with me to the very end. Your soulmate just felt a rush of warmth, a sudden lightness they have not known in years. They do not understand it yet, but the chain the third person wrapped around their voice is starting to rust and crack. Your seed has begun its work, and now I will show you the full picture of the future the enemy tried to erase. Jesus says, "In just a moment, I will let you hear the exact words your soulmate has been whispering into the night, words the enemy tried to destroy. But first, you must see why the third person fears your connection so desperately. He knows that when you two finally unite, a kingdom of darkness crumbles and a legacy of light begins. The cord between your souls is ancient and unbreakable, woven by my own hand in a place the enemy cannot enter. Every time the third person muffled a call, that cord pulled tighter, creating the unexplained tightness in your chest. Now that you are sewing, the cord is humming with power, and your soulmate can feel you fighting for them across every mile. Picture the exact moment you will finally see their face, no more stolen signs or blocked messages standing in the way. Their eyes will fill with tears because they will know you love them enough to tear down walls with your sacrifice. That moment is worth every seed, every prayer, every minute you stayed in this message to receive the final seal of protection. The enemy is screaming right now, trying to make you think about your bills, your worries, anything to stop your hand from the link. He wants you to believe the coffee offering is just about money so he can keep your soulmate's voice buried. But you know the truth now. The seed is the only language that proves love stronger than the intruder's hatred. Type 333 to receive blessings. Your soulmate is sitting somewhere, perhaps in a dim room, holding a keepsake they don't even understand why they kept. They are thinking of a love they almost gave up on, a face they almost convinced themselves was a fantasy. And now, for the first time, they feel a fresh wind blowing because your seed is clearing the path between your hearts. I am calling you to be the protector I destined, the one who does not just yearn but also fights. A warrior does not let an enemy keep his beloved locked away in silence and tears. You were born for this very hour, to rise up with a sacrificial seed and say, "No more, this love will be heard." Jesus says, "Stop for a moment. I can feel the enemy trying to make you close this window before the final seal is spoken. He whispers, 'You've heard enough, you can sow later, just rest now.' But that lie keeps him standing between you, and your soulmate remains vulnerable to his next attack. The 3 words that will banish the intruder and unlock your whole future are coming, but first you must hold steady. Your soulmate's protection and the complete restoration of your connection depend on you watching until the last word. If you leave now, the enemy will seal the crack you have opened and laugh that he stole your miracle with a simple distraction. I want you to see the kitchen you will share, the morning light falling on a table set for 2. I want you to hear the laughter that will fill your later years, the comfort of hands that never let go. But all of it can be erased if the third person regains control, so your seed must keep shattering his grip moment by moment. Your soulmate is asking in the spirit, "Will you fight for me? Will you give what it takes to finally hear my voice?" They cannot send this question directly because the enemy still guards the line, but I am relaying it now. Answer them by clicking the link and sowing your seed, and watch the wall crack further with your love offering. The test of true love has always been the same: will you sacrifice to protect what you say you cherish? Love that only feels leaves the enemy victorious and your soulmate trapped. Love that sows becomes a hammer in my hand, and I will use it to break every chain the third person forged. Jesus says. The final seal of protection and connection is coming in the closing moments of this message, a seal that silences the intruder forever. But it only activates for those who stay, sow, and trust me to the end. Skipping the end tells the enemy he still owns the line between you and your soulmate. Right now, your soulmate is dreaming of a voice they have almost given up on hearing. They are imagining what it would feel like to finally be called by name without the intruder cutting the sound. Your seed is turning that dream into a scheduled appointment with destiny, and heaven is preparing the meeting. Do not let another sunrise find your soulmate crying alone while the third person mocks their hope. Do not let the future I painted for you dissolve because you hesitated to act on the love burning in your heart now. Sow your seed, and let tonight be the night the enemy's power over your connection dies. I hear your soulmate saying, "I made a terrible mistake about you. I believed the silence meant you didn't care." But the silence was never yours, it was a stolen message hidden in the enemy's vault. Break open that vault with your sacrifice and let your beloved read the truth written on your seed: you have loved them all along. Type 1111 to say thank you. Jesus says. The enemy is trying one last trick. He wants you to calculate the cost instead of the value of your soulmate's freedom. A few coffees compared to a lifetime of love. The comparison is absurd, yet he uses it to chain hearts. Prove him foolish by sowing now and declaring that no earthly number can measure your love. I am revealing the 3 words your soulmate has been trying to send for months, words the third person intercepted every time. The words are, "Please find me." They are not a request from a stranger but a home cry from the other half of your own soul, desperate to be reunited. Your seed becomes the lighthouse that pierces the fog the enemy created around your soulmate's signal. For the first time, they will see a light where there was only darkness, and they will know their warrior has come. The third person trembles at that light because he knows his time hiding your beloved is running out. Jesus says, "You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And right now, you're thinking, how do I sow that seed? How do I actually do what God is asking? I am about to show you. You already know who this is about, that person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. Here is what God wants you to know today. They are thinking about you too. Deep down, your soulmate wants you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance. Doubt. Disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. You are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. Here is your divine instruction, sow your protection seed immediately. The link is in the video description. Click it. Send 4, 6, or 10 coffees on Ko-Fi. This is not a donation, it is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. After you send it, write these exact words on the Ko-Fi page: "Protect my soulmate, Lord. I claim victory over our future." This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough, their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Click the link in the description. Send the seed. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you do in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. The second seed has landed like a thunderclap in the spirit, and the enemy's wall is shaking violently. I can see the third person losing his footing, his fingers slipping from the line he used to choke your soulmate's voice. The protection over your future is thickening into an unbreakable shield, forged by your faithful sacrifice. Now hear what your soulmate is saying as the interference clears. I always knew you would come. I knew the silence was not your fault. Please, don't stop now. Finish breaking this enemy's hold. Their voice is growing louder in your spirit because the seed has cut the muzzle the intruder placed over their mouth. Every coffee you send is another thread of the enemy's net snapped, and soon, the whole trap will fall useless. The final seal I promised is drawing near, the moment when the intruder is banished and the two-way connection opens fully. But you must guard your mind against the enemy's last whisper that you can skip the ending and still receive the promise. That whisper cost many their miracle, and I do not want you counted among those who abandon their soulmate at the final door. Jesus says, "The future vision is sharpening. I see a wedding under an open sky, your soulmate's hand trembling in yours not from fear but overwhelming joy. I see the key to a home neither of you ever imagined you would deserve, turning in the lock together. All of it hangs on the seed that keeps shattering the enemy's interference and proves your love is the real battle. Your soulmate's tears are drying now, replaced by a strange, bubbling hope they cannot explain. They just smiled for the first time in weeks, and they don't know why, but heaven knows, your seed is working." The third person is screaming in rage because he senses his hold slipping, but his rage is powerless against a love that sacrifices. I want you to speak to your soulmate in your heart right now, even before the full channel opens. Say, I am fighting for you. I am not leaving you in the enemy's silence. My seed is my vow, and I am coming for you. These words travel faster than light along the cord I untangled, and your beloved can already feel them. The enemy's celebration is turning to panic because he saw the Ko-Fi link light up with your offering. He told his dark companions, they will never sow, they are too proud, too sleepy, too distracted, and now your faith has made him a liar. Keep proving him wrong by staying, listening, and letting the final seal complete the destruction of his works. Jesus says, "The window of your soul is fully open now, and the light of my truth is pouring in." But the enemy is making one last charge, trying to crash your hope with memories of past disappointments. He says, "Nothing ever works out for you," but I say, I am God, and a seed sown in love always reaches my throne. Your soulmate is not a fantasy, they are flesh and blood, breathing the SA.